OFSSA is organizing webinars on every second and fourth Saturday in association with different schools and hospitals. Today's webinar is organized in association with Town Public School Etamanu and PS Mission Hospital Ernakulam on the topic health risk of prolonged consumption of red meat products. The resource person for today's webinar is Sister Dr. Jaya Joseph from PS Mission Hospital Ernakulam. I'm very happy to welcome all of you onto this webinar. I'm extremely happy to express our sincere gratitude to Marymount Public School to be the part of this webinar. I express my sincere thanks to Principal Reverend Sister Lizzie Sebastian, all the teacher coordinators, students and parents for joining in this webinar. And our 21st National Webinar brochure is released by Honorable Member of Parliament, Sri Jos K. Mani, and he will be joining with us with a message on food safety through his video. So we will first start with the introduction part. We will move into the formal part of the webinar. For the introductory remark, I'm extremely happy to welcome Grandmaster Tirtha Vivek. She is the national logo and the webinar child moderator of the webinar. I'm extremely happy to welcome Tirtha Vivek. Over to Tirtha.
Good evening to all. I'm Tirtha Vivek. I'm extremely happy to welcome all of you into the 21st National Webinar Series on the headline Food Safety for Children. We kids are the future of our nation. We have to be healthy to build our nation strong. Today's webinar is on the topic Health Risk of Prolonged Use of Red Meat, jointly organized by coordinators from state of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. I welcome all of the national and state leaders. Resource person for today's webinar, Dr. Jaya Joseph. I am very happy to welcome principals, students, teachers, parents and all dear participants from Marymount Public School. Let's seek the blessings of that supreme power. I invite Annie Prashant.
Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One.
Thank you, Ashwati Andy Prashant, for such a relaxing offering prayer. Thank you for keeping our mind joined together. Thank you once again. I would like to call upon Reverend Lizzie Sebastian, Principal, Marymount Public School, for a special remark about this webinar and importance of food safety. Sister, can you join?
Good evening, Honorable Gus, OFSSA team members, respected parents, teachers, and my dear smart students. Once again, good evening, one and all present here. Today is an important day for our Marymount family as we are organizing a webinar in association with OFSSA National Webinar Series for the children on the topic Health Risks of Prolonged Consumption of Red Meat Products. Along with our school Health and Wellness Club, the school is so privileged to organize such a wonderful awareness session for the children. On this occasion, I just want to share a few things with the participants. Red meat such as beef, pork, and lamb is a valuable source of protein, iron, and other essential nutrients. However, when consumed in excess, it can have negative consequences for a child's developing body. It's important to remember that not all red meat is created equal. Leaner cuts and trimmed of excess fat are a better choice than processed meats like sausages and bacon, which are often high in sodium and preservatives. By promoting a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein sources, we can help our children to develop healthy eating habits that will benefit them for life. I congratulate the OFSSA team for joining with us, and I wish all the participants to gain a lot of information from this section. Thank you all and have a wonderful session again. God bless you all.
Thanks, Tulsi, for your motivating and inspiring remark about us. And hope the children will benefit from this webinar. And this combined effort will be a good start for the healthy food habit. I wish for that. As Sister Lizzie said, red meat is very essential for our health, but at the same time, the food is medicine, and at the same time, food is very essential for our life. But at the same time, nowadays we can see certain habits which is making that the same good thing bad to us. So, in order to overcome that certain problems, OFSA is continuously organizing these webinars. So, today we have Sister Jaya Joseph from PS Mission Hospital. Sister attained, Doctor attained MBBS and MD from St. John's National Academy of Medical Science, Bangalore. Sister has 12 years of experience as pediatric consultant. So, with immense happiness, I would like to welcome Dr. Sister Jaya Joseph for the
Reverend Sister Lizzie Sebastian. Very good evening and warm welcome once again to our national webinar series of OFSSA. Very specially, I thank all the organizing committee of OFSSA, Dr. Saumya, the coordinator, and St. Mary Mount Public School Principal, Reverend Sister Lizzie Sebastian, and all the teaching, non-teaching faculties, all the students, very specially our Grandmaster Tirtha, and all the parents and participants of this program. As you all know, today we will be discussing the topic on the health hazards associated with prolonged consumption of red meat. Under these key points, we will see today's topic: the significance of childhood nutrition, red meat consumption trends, nutritional composition of red meat, health issues associated with red meat. We all know that children represent the future, and their health is our wealth. So their health is in our hands too, and it is our prime concern to promote their health. Are increasing day by day. Red meat consumption trends are increasing day by day. So coming to what is red meat, we all know that it is the red muscle fibers. It is the flesh of the animals that have higher proportion of red muscle fibers of beef, goat, lamb, pork, mutton, etc. And this red muscle fiber contain more heme content. Heme iron content is more. That is why it is called red meat. Okay, but when we consider the white meat, they are poultries, fish items. They all come under white meat categories. And what is meant by processed meat? Processed meat is they are preserved by smoking, curing, salting, drying, and sometimes we add chemical preservatives to preserve them, especially sodium nitrate. And we know there are a lot of benefits. As you all know that the red meat has lot of benefits. It has large amounts of iron, proteins, zinc, phosphorus, amino acids, and vitamin B12, thiamine, riboflavin. Such are they are rich source of these vitamins also. So it is necessary for our body, but what we have to be take care, that we will come to the point later. Then what are the risks associated with the red meat overconsumption? You may be knowing colorectal cancer, obesity, heart diseases, stroke, diabetes, hyperlipidemia. These all can cause by the overconsumption of red meat. Why this? How does this colorectal cancer cause? Because the red meat contain carcinogens, that is nitrosocomponent. The three carcinogens it is associated with this red meat. One is nitroso compounds. Second one, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon, heterocyclic amines. I know this is still difficult to remember. Just remember nitroso compounds. How does this form? When we eat red meat, the red meat in the gut, the amino acids of red meat undergoes decarboxylation. Decarboxylation by the bacteria of the gut. We know in the gut we have normal flora, bacteria and all. So these bacteria causes decarboxylation of the amino acids and they form nitroso compounds. These nitroso compounds are very much harmful to our body. So that happens inside the body. That is after the consumption of red meat happens. Okay, nitroso compounds formation. So how does, so this I have already explained, by the decarboxylation of amino acids, these nitroso compounds are formed. The next slide. So when we cook the meat or in the high temperature methods such as pan frying or grilling, what happens? These polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons and heterocyclic amines are formed. So this is before eating, they already formed, but these are carcinogens. So these cause very harm to our body. So these three compounds, so you have to remember in mind, these are the three carcinogens formed due to from the red meat. Next slide, please. So what are the risks associated with red meat overconsumption? So colorectal cancer, obesity, heart diseases, stroke, diabetes, hyperlipidemia. So these are the risks associated with red meat. In regard to cancer, there is one more association, that is there in 2016 in one journal of nutrition presented that they have followed, in one study they have followed 7 to 12 years of girl children, and one group has received less than 2 times per week the red meat consumption, and other group received twice or more than twice a day red meat consumption. They have consumed twice or more than twice a day, and more than twice a day consumed the group developed they achieved early periods, and they were, when they were followed up, they were prone to develop breast cancer and also uterine cancer. So the consumption of red meat not only causes colorectal cancer, they can attain early periods, and this early achievements of periods will later will cause they can cause breast cancer and uterine cancer. So that risk also is associated with red meat consumption. And the other thing we know, it contains, the red meat contains more saturated fats. Saturated fats are not good for our body. They causes increased blood cholesterol and what happens when the cholesterol is increased? It can go and deposit in our blood vessels. Okay, so in the heart blood vessels they can deposit, and even in the brain cerebral arteries they go and deposit in our cerebral arteries. So in the brain, if the cerebral arteries, if they deposit, they can cause stroke. And in the blood vessels of heart, if they get deposited, it will cause heart diseases, heart attacks, and so on. And they also, if we eat the processed fatty cuts, they can cause childhood obesity. Next slide. So how we consider whether there is obesity or not? Do you know? Body mass index we calculate. In the adult, body mass index, and in the children we calculate by weight and height ratio. We take weight in kg divided by height in meter square into 100. When we calculate, we get the body mass index. And for the adult, the body mass index 18.5 to 24.9 are normal, and 25 to 29.9 are overweight. 30 to 35 BMI is obese, and more than 40 it is morbidly obese. But in children there is a chart for to see the body mass index. So in that chart, if less than fifth percentile body mass index, it is underweight. And the body mass index in children should come at, as per that chart, between 5 percentile and 85 percentile. So more than 85th percentile BMI is obesity. Next slide, please. So this we have already described. We already discussed. Next. And we said red meat contains saturated fat also. Saturated fat, what are the other sources of saturated fat? Red meat contains saturated fat. Saturated fat in turn will cause high cholesterol. The other source of saturated fats are fatty cuts of meat, sausages, butter, hard cheese, cakes, biscuits, peas. So what we can use, this all are, we are not supposed to eat because it will cause obesity and the other complications of obesity. So we should avoid this saturated fat containing products also, and the red meat contain this saturated fat. IARC, that is International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, has classified the carcinogenic items, what all causes carcinogens to our body. So this processed meat comes under which category? This is group 1. That means there is no doubt processed meat is carcinogenic. It causes cancer to our body. So we are not supposed to eat this processed meat. But I know children are very fond of these sausages, bacon, salamis, hot dogs, and all. So we should avoid. We should not even touch this processed meat items. And group 2A category comes probably causes cancer. This red meat is comes under group 2A. That means it probably causes cancer. That means it has a very strong relation with the cancer. That means it has there is strong evidence that it will cause cancer, but may not be in everyone. So some people may have more immunity and there will be more strong. So in everyone it will not cause cancer, but it has very strong relationship with the cancer. So it is probably causes cancer. So red meat comes under the second category. Okay, next slide. So this we have already discussed. Group 1, that is processed meat. So you should take this into, you should keep in your mind that processed meat is very injurious to our health, carcinogenic to humans. So IARC, International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, has classified this as processed meat as group 1 category, and group 2A is red meat comes under group 2A. Next slide, please. So this also I have already explained. That means it has a strong positive association between eating red meat and developing cancer, but in everyone it may not produce. Okay, next slide. Then, so when we listen this topic, we will have doubt. Then, what is the safe quantity? Should we say no to red meat? No, we don't have to need not say no to red meat, but the cooked meat 65 gram per day. For adults, they can take 65 gram per day, and for the children 30 gram per day. For the children, they can take red meat. This is the frequency how much they can take is thrice a week. That is the cutoff. Thrice a week they can take red meat, cooked meat, and so thrice a week when they take 30 gram per day, it will be around 90 to 100 gram per week. For children, they can take, and for the adult, it is less than 500 gram per week adult can take. So what we have to do is consume moderately. So I said there is red meat has lot of benefits, but we have to use it is very moderately. So so you all very much convinced that we have to say no to processed meat. We should not eat processed meat. But when we eat this red meat, we have to choose the lean cuts that is Sister Lizzie mentioned. uh, we have to use only lean cuts. Visible fat we have to cut off. Next slide. So what are the other alternatives? We have to, when we reduce our red meat consumption for protein and other minerals, what we have to, what we can depend, what are the other alternatives? Vegetables and milk and milk products, fruits, grains. This all are we have to depend on. Next one. And I just want to say that children are very fond of junk foods also. So along with this, I would like to say that we have to say no to junk foods also, because they are very nutritive value is less for these junk foods, and this carbonated drinks, caffeinated drinks, that all what they will do, they will reduce our appetite, and because of their high salt, saturated fat, sugar, they will cause our appetite to reduce, but it will not give much calories also. So just it will cause only harm to our body. Nowadays, I am seeing in our OP, children are coming with even renal stones. Very young children, 7 years, 8 years, they form this renal concretion, which is called very minute stones. So when we ask the history, they very frequently they take this carbonated drinks. So it can cause renal stones, kidney stones. So we have to avoid these types of food items. And the caffeinated foods and drinks will cause, they are very good stimulant. So nowadays we know many children are with hyperactivity, and ADHD children are many are there. So if we give them these stimulants, it will increase their hyperactivity. So caffeinated foods and drinks we should not recommend, we should not offer for our children, and this also interfere with the calcium absorption. Okay, next one. So coffee, tea, energy drinks, chocolate all contain caffeine. So once in a while it is okay, but you should not take very frequently these items: chocolates, coffee, energy drinks, etc. Next one. And this junk food, what I said, uh, this will cause obesity and type 2 diabetes in children when they regularly consume these junks. So what else we can depend on? We can just the healthy foods. What is made in our home? Homemade foods are very healthy. This idli, dosha, and all. But nowadays, our children, or most of the time, they skip these types of foods. Why? They go to bed very late and they get up very late in holidays, vacations, and all. And they are very prone to skip the breakfast. So we should not skip breakfast. That is the very important food of our day. So you should not skip breakfast. And if we can depend upon this our natural foods, our homemade foods, it is very healthy practice. Okay, next one. So if you are going to school without taking breakfast, your memory, your intelligence, how the brain will work, because we know the hypoglycemia. Children may have hypoglycemia, low sugar, and they will be tired. Okay, next one. So how the parents has a great role, so they can promote their children, and even teachers also can promote children to uh, take this breakfast in our Ernakulam, our district. I heard that there is one project. Through this project, when they help the children in schools, the schools provide breakfast, because most of the children comes to school because of they do not like the food items, or they have to come too early to the school, so they skip the breakfast and come, and they depends mainly upon the other items like what is that, noodles, or some other junk foods like that. So the certain schools in our Kochi, Ernakulam district, they provide as a part of the project, they provide breakfast, that is healthy food for the children. Next one. And even parents can or caretakers can send the food items, like they can eat very fast, like some paisam, or as a snacks, or this chapati roll with vegetables and all. So alternative protein sources we already discussed, the soya bean, the almonds, peanuts, and all we can provide for our children. Next one. So parents and teachers, caretakers has a great role. They have to be model for their eating behavior. And so a take home message for this class is we have to say no to processed meat. Red meat, no need to say no, but the amount we have to moderate consumption. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sister Dr. Jaya Joseph, for your sincere effort to illustrate the risk factors of frequent consumption of red meat product. Not only that red meat product, you illustrated every aspect of food safety, that is especially for the children. On behalf of OFSA, I express our sincere gratitude to Sister Jia Joseph for enriching us with this informative session, which is definitely contributed for realizing many facts, which were so many things we were doing every day, but we were not aware about it. So thank you, Sister, for your sincere contribution. The increasing rate of cancer, even among the children, are the major concern nowadays. That's why OFSA is taking this initiative to make the children and parents aware about this. That is the intention of this webinar. Every doctor, from first webinar to this 21st webinar, every doctor saying the same things, and we are providing the sessions in order to understand at least one child is get benefited from this. We are happy, we are successful. So thank you, sister, for taking this effort. Once again, on behalf of UPSA and all the children attended this, my sincere gratitude to you. Thank you, sister. And children, this is the time for interaction for teachers, parents, and can. If you have any queries to ask, you can ask, or either you can post your comments on the chat box so sister can answer your question. Doctor can clear your doubts.